Peace, family. What's good? It's your brother God Science, man. I'm up in here. Shout out and salute to everybody watching the video, subscribing. Really appreciate y'all, man. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos if you like it. Chop it up with me in the comment section. Leave your comments. And, I salute to y'all. I really appreciate it. Now, as you can see, we got the flag up there, man. And I'm doing this video in a response to Star in the morning going in on the Nation of Gods and Earths. Now, this is all revolving around Charlemagne the God. If you know who Charlemagne the God is, you should know who Charlemagne the God is. Charlemagne the God is on the Breakfast Club, The Brilliant Idiots. And recently he's been allegedly accused allegedly for rape, for the date rape shit. And it's not good. It's not a good charge. And Star was responsible for basically breaking this story, having the sister on his platform doing an interview. I watched a good majority of it. You know what I'm saying? So this is not as a shoot down to her, and if he is guilty of this shit, he should pay for that shit. But as like I said, I'm not 100% sure, so I don't know. What I'm basically doing this video on is Star basically calling out the Nation of Gods and Earths because they supposedly then distanced themselves from Charlemagne the God. Now, let me say this. There is an episode of The Breakfast Club. I'm not sure if it's Onyx or not. Don't quote me on that, but it is there is an interview that he did, and the Nation of Gods came up and he distanced himself from it, basically saying he had nothing to do with that anymore, had nothing to do with that. That was his wording about the Nation of Gods and Earths. So right there, the Nation of Gods and Earths is not responsible for Charlemagne the God. Now, it's different now. When I first came into the Nation of Gods and Earths, I came in from two brothers that was basically that learned it from prison. Now, if anybody know 5%ers from prison, they take that shit serious. For an example, when I first learned these teachings, I was all happy, and I wanted to tell everybody, and man, I know something, and I wanted to rock the flag, the big flag on the shirt. And one day I had it on, and he asked me to break it down, and I got a lot of shit wrong, and he's like, take that shit off. And at the time, I'm like, yo, I was gonna fight the dude. I'm like, this dude trying to punk me, man. I'm not taking my shirt off. But I understood what he was trying to do, and that's how these 5%ers roll. You're not wearing that flag unless you can break that shit down, and I mean break it down. All right. I mean, I came up from an era where you was asked, what's today's mathematics? And you was they stood standing right there in a fucking circle, and you better break down today's mathematics or you gonna get a beat down. That's how the gods roll. Now it's different. Now you can go online, man, and get the majority of 120. You can get the supreme wisdom that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Farad Muhammad brought down. And you couldn't get that like that. You had to be a registered Muslim. I mean, Father, God bless his soul, he was responsible for taking it out the mosque and bringing it to the streets to try to save these damn kids, and then adding on the supreme alphabet, the supreme mathematics, and he basically took it to the streets for that main purpose of saving the babies, and it did a lot of good. So it's it's different now. You can look that shit up, read it, and be like, hey, I'm a god body. Who gonna stop me? You gonna say no? Back then, you can't really do that shit. So I think Charlemagne and like, I wish I knew the damn episode, but he brushed up with it in a time in his life. Like a lot of people, he was influenced by it. He took some shit from it, and he took that name, Charlemagne the God. Like a lot of people, growing up in New York, it's impossible. You can tell me you was involved in hip hop. You grew up with hip hop, and you know who the Nation of Gods and Earths is, because they inspired a lot of people. A lot of people won't give them their props. Now, they move on to something else and they think they're on some higher knowledge shit. So now they'll look down and talk shit about the nation of gods and earths. But that's where they fucking started from. That if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't even be on the all spiritual consciousness, whatever you want to call it. You might not agree with their doctrine now, but it sure as hell sparked your fucking mind. So I hate when people do that. They don't give the props where the props is due. But they're not responsible for Charlemagne the God. Technically, he is God. Technically, we all God. Some people are aware of it, some people are not. So technically, he is God. Now, just because he's God doesn't mean what he's gonna do. That's an unrighteous act. So I don't think the nation of gods and earths have to come out and distance themselves from you know they'll have to do that for everybody. Does everybody follows those lessons? And that's one of the main things that I learned even dealing with these lessons. For first few years, I came into the nation of gods and earths. I studied 120, man, and I constantly quote that. I'm studying 120. And what I learned later on is that studying 120 and yelling your God, anybody could do that. Anybody could do that. It's when you start living that shit, when you start applying, making knowledge born. That's the challenge right there. When you have to live like a god and live that shit, live 120. You got to study it too, but live 120. I mean, we had to memorize the supreme. Like I said, it's different now. We had to memorize that shit. And they ask you, what's the third degree? What's the eighth degree? And you don't know that shit. Then you don't get your other lessons. It was done with me like that, like steps. You had to, master this one first, understand, this degree, then you go to the next one. Now you can just do a fucking printout and get the supreme alphabets and supreme mathematics online. So it's different now. So anybody could claim that they are the nation of God, they're your God body and shit like that. Who's gonna fucking stop them from not saying it? So I don't think they're, in any fault. So please, Star, chill out, man. Chill out. You even said that the nation of gods and earths, people in that community, they're good people there. You probably even was inspired by some of it. So, they're not responsible for the nation, Charlemagne the God. I don't see Charlemagne the God rocking the flag chains and the nation of gods and their flags. I've never seen him rock a chain or anything like that. I've seen Jay-Z. You say probably Jay-Z is more of a representative than Charlemagne the God. He just took that name, so they have nothing to do with Charlemagne the God and coming out and renouncing him. He said he's not a part of the nation of gods and earths. So please don't. The Zulu nation and nation of God is two different entities, two different things, and it's two different situations. You know what I'm saying? With African Mbata, people is trying to cover that up in the Zulu nation. This is totally different. He's not a part of that community. Guarantee he's not. He just brushed up with those teachings. So what you guys think? Thank you for watching, man. Subscribing. You like the video, and subscribe, man. Peace.